In our today's class, we are going to discuss about 8051 interrupt structure. The most powerful and important features are interrupts in 8051 microcontroller. In most of the real-time process, to handle certain conditions properly, the actual task must be halt for some time. It takes required action and then must return to the main task. For executing such type of programs, interrupts are necessary. It entirely differs from the polling method wherein the processor must check sequentially each devices and ask whether the service is required or not while consuming more processor time. Interrupts are of different types like software and hardware interrupt, maskable and non-maskable, fixed and vector and non-vector interrupt and so on. Interrupt service routine comes into picture when the interrupt occurs and then tells the processor to take appropriate action for the interrupt. And after the interrupt service routine is execution, the control jumps to the main program. The 8051 microcontroller can recognize 5 different events that causes the main program to interrupt from normal execution. These 5 sources of interrupts in 8051 are timer 0 overflow interrupt, timer 1 overflow interrupt, external hardware interrupt, INT0, and external hardware interrupt INT1. Finally, serial communication interrupt. The timer and serial interrupts are internally generated by the microcontroller, whereas the external interrupts are generated by additional interfacing devices or switches that are externally connected to the microcontroller. These external interrupts can be edge triggered or level triggered. When an interrupt occurs, the microcontroller executes the interrupt service routine so that the memory location corresponding to the interrupt that enables it. The interrupt corresponding to the memory location is given in the interrupt vector table. The figure shows the 8051 interrupt vector table. The 8051 has total of 6 interrupts and each interrupt has a designated interrupt service routine. Interrupt handler assigned to it. The interrupt service routine is a predefined code that is stored at a particular memory location in the read-only memory that the microcontroller executes when the designated interrupt arises. A table known as the interrupt vector table is responsible for storing the addresses of the interrupt service routine. Check out the interrupt vector table which is shown here. The topmost interrupt has the highest priority. If you look closely at the table, you will realize that except the reset interrupt, all other interrupt service routines occupies 8 bytes of space. The reset interrupt service routine, however, occupies only 3 bytes. This is very important observation and you should keep in mind the size of each interrupt service routine. Let us see the interrupt structure of 8051 microcontroller. Upon reset, all the interrupts get disabled and therefore all these interrupts must be enabled by a software. In all these 5 interrupts, if any one or all are activated, this sets the corresponding interrupt flag as shown in figure. All these interrupts can be set or cleared by bit in some special function register that is interrupt enabled, and this in turn depends on the priority which is executed by interrupt priority register. Let us now discuss about the interrupt enabled register. The interrupt enabled register, that is IE register, is used for enabling and disabling the interrupts. This is a bit addressable register in which the EA value must be set to 1 for enabling interrupts. The individual bits in this register enables the particular interrupt like timer, serial and external inputs. Considering the below IE register, bits corresponding to 1 activates the interrupt and 0 disables the interrupt. Let us now discuss about the interrupt priority register. Using interrupt priority register, it it is possible to change the priority levels of an interrupt by clearing or setting the individual bits in the interrupt priority register as shown in the figure. It allows the low priority interrupt to the highest priority interrupt, but it prohibits the interruption by using another low priority interrupt. If the property of the interrupt are not programmed, then microcontroller executes the instruction in a predefined manner and its order are INT0, TF0, INT1, TF1 and SI. That is external hardware interrupt, timer counter 0 interrupt, external hardware interrupt 1, timer counter 1 interrupt, and finally serial communication interrupt. And the priority level are being shown in the table. Let us now discuss about the interrupt priority and queuing. After every instruction, the 8051 automatically evaluates whether an interrupt should occur or not. Interrupt conditions are checked for the following order: external interrupt 0, timer counter 0 interrupt, external hardware interrupt, timer counter 1 interrupt, and finally serial communication interrupt. The list also gives the priority of the interrupt. So whenever the external interrupt 0 and timer 1 interrupt are occurring at the same time, the 8051 microcontroller executes the interrupt service routine corresponding to external external interrupt 0 first, and then after it returns to the main program. After returning to the main program, it executes one instruction and then execute the interrupt service routine of timer 1 interrupt. This also means that if a serial interrupt occurs at the same instant, then external 0 interrupt occurs. The external 0 interrupt routine is executed first and then the serial communication interrupt is executed. There are two levels of interrupt priority in 8051, high and low. Using interrupt priority, the aforementioned interrupts can be divided into two separate interrupt priority categories. Interrupt priorities are controlled by the interrupt priority special function register B8, which has the format as shown in the figure. For example, if serial interrupt is more important than the timer 0 interrupt, then the interrupt priority register I at the then the interrupt priority register at the address B8H can be programmed to set the priority appropriately. This can be accomplished by assigning a high priority to serial, serial interrupt and a low priority to timer 0 interrupt. By setting the D4 bit to 1, the serial interrupt will be set to high priority and the timer interrupt will be set to low priority. Note that the priority can be set individually by using the bit address of the IP register. For example, the timer 0 interrupt priority can be made high by setting D1 bit of interrupt priority. So the following instructions can be used: set B PT0, set B B9H, move IP 82H. Based on the two-level priority set by the interrupt priority register, interrupt subroutines are executed as follows under various conditions. When a high priority interrupts and a low priority interrupts appear at the same time, the high priority interrupt will be serviced first. When a high priority interrupt appears during the execution of low priority interrupt service routine, the high priority interrupt will be serviced after suspending the low priority service routine. Finally, a low priority interrupt cannot be interrupt a high priority interrupt. If there is more than one high priority interrupt and if any two of them appear at the same time, the priority among these two will be decided by the order in which the interrupt conditions are checked by the hardware. The complete structure of 8051 interrupt can be understood well by referring this figure. 5 interrupt sources are first passed through the IE register, which decides the enabling and disabling of the interrupts. The global interrupt enabled signal is also shown in the figure. The IP register sets two priority levels among the available interrupts. This is shown in the figure as high priority and low priority blocks. The bit IT0 and IT1 can be set by TCON special function register. They are used to decide whether the hardware interrupt is level triggered or edge triggered. Now let us discuss how to program a timer interrupt. Let us have an example of writing a program to generate a square wave of 10 kHz on the least significant bit of port 1, that is P1.0 using timer. In this example, the timer is initialized in mode 2. This is a 8-bit auto reload mode. The clock frequency applied to the counter is assumed to be 1 MHz, so the counter is incremented every 1 second. In order to generate a square waveform from timer, first the timer 0 vector interrupt should be called. So the timer interrupt vector for timer 0 is 00B, that is being loaded as a starting address. Then it is being complemented in order to generate a square waveform. We are in need of a positive 1 and 0. By means of complementing it, it returns from the service routine. So a 1 and 0 will automatically follows. This 1 and 0 must automatically follow for a particular time duration that is being mentioned as 10 kHz. So to generate a square wave of 10 kHz, the port pin is toggled after every 1 by 2 into 10,000 seconds. This time is calculated to be 50 microseconds. So the counter is loaded with a count value of 50 to generate a delay of 50 microseconds. So before loading the count value of 50, what we have to do is we have to first initialize the timer 0 in mode 2. So in order to initialize the timer 0 in mode 2, we have made use of this instruction. Then the count value is being loaded to. After loading the count value and setting the timer 0 in mode 2, the timer interrupt is being enabled. Once the timer interrupt is being enabled, the timer is being started and it will generate a square waveform of 10 kHz.